So, according to reports in an online publication called the Daily Jang, the king has summoned Sir Kier Stamer to Scotland, to Balmoral, and they have much to discuss. So, allegedly, they will be talking about obviously the recent unrest in the UK, but let's ask the cards what else they might be talking about. Maybe a particularly troublesome duo from Montecito. Let's ask the cards. Clear the energy. Okay. Sir Kier summons to talk with the king at Balmoral. There's a doorway with a horse bolting through it. So, this was a last minute kind of arrangement. Initially it was thought that Sir Kier might not go because of the issues and the unrest in the country, but there's been a sudden change of plans, according to that card. Ooh, power, power. There's the king sitting on his throne, and I'm always getting power struggle. Again, sort of fast-moving energy, and it might be Sir Kier and his wife, perhaps, because both of them are going to Balmoral. But make no mistake, the king is the boss. What else can you tell us, cards? Ooh, peregrine falcon. See this falcon? I think this is Kier. He thinks, well, he is the PM of England, and he believes he's very powerful. But look how he's bowing down, and there's the king, who's appearing smaller, but also has more power, and it's kind of almost like he's anointing Kier in a way. So although Kier feels like he's on top, he will be deferential to the king. And that's interesting because there's many reports that Kier is anti-monarchy. And if that is so, then why did he accept a knighthood? Why did he accept a knighthood from the king? Before he became the PM. Okay. Well, let's ask the cards directly. Will the topic of Meghan Markle come up? Will Meghan Markle be discussed between Kier and the king? Well, there's Meghan's energy. I'm not sure what this rabbit is all about. We'll ask the cards to clarify that message of that card. It says message for a rabbit. It's very washed out, worn out. It might be that Meghan's days in Technicolor are numbered. I'm not sure. What does that message with the red eyes, what is that all about? Such a curious dream. Yeah, I wonder if the titles might be at risk. Meghan's dream, allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, from when she was a little girl, was to be a princess. So I wonder if they are going to be talking about the titles. There was a video footage of her at somebody else's birthday party where she was pretending to be the queen and bossing everybody around. So I think there will be a discussion, and they'll be talking about how surreal it is, the things that have happened. But let's ask the cards for one more about Meghan. You belong in your own dream. So I'm getting that they will be discussing her. They know that she's not been good for the UK in any way, shape or form. She stirred up hatred, she stirred up division, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. And the dream that many had of Prince Harry meeting his match and living happily ever after, the dream has turned into a nightmare. So let's ask the cards, what specifically are they going to be discussing? Let's find out about the energy around a discussion around Harry. So we know that they're going to be talking about the the Meghan Markle situation, which also includes Harry, and this card that I couldn't quite tell before. I'm wondering if this is to do, getting the impression of whitewash, how she whitewashed the media. She made false propaganda against the UK. Okay, so cards. What is Kier and the King? The King and Kier. What are they going to be discussing about Harry? Let us know. The King and Kier. What is the discussion about Harry? How is that going to go? It says, the Wolves of Venice, you are far, far away from home. And there's the old London town in the background. And this is here, Meghan, and the mask has come off. And they've realised that she's dangerous. She's dangerous for the UK. She's decreased the popularity in the UK. And I wonder if they're going to be talking about ways to bring Harry back home. There may even have been an approach by Harry or somebody in Harry's camp to either the King or to the PM. Unlikely to have approached the PM, but there's been some rumbling somewhere behind the scenes about, let's bring Harry home. He's not in a place where he belongs. They are very firmly talking about Meghan's influence on Harry. This is very much a very strong Meghan vibe, with a Viper, the person who came in and tried to destroy not only the royal family, but also the reputation of England, the UK. The things that she said, how she implied that they were racist. Well, she actually did use the word racist, despite Harry saying she didn't. If you go back and look at that Oprah interview, she said, there's a difference between bad press and racism. Ooh, washed out, pale again. Yeah, so this is very much the same kind of energy as this pale energy, and maybe this is with Meghan around. Harry is a shadow of his former self. He's feeling washed out. He's got no energy. He's this is a rat, so maybe he's the one who said bad things about the UK, but under the influence of somebody else. He wouldn't have behaved the way that he did. He wouldn't have brought the country into disrepute the way that he did without the external evidence. Influence. So I wonder if there's something to do with evidence, that word evidence of something coming out. So what can they do about the problem of this prince who's now a shadow of himself? Grab another deck and see. What does this one say? Come, please, cards, tell us more. What is the specifics of we know they're going to be talking about Harry and Meghan and how he is a shadow of his former self. Maybe he needs to come back home. What else? Ooh. A wonderful idea. The clockwork pumpkin. So there's, you see the clockwork happening behind the scenes, some steps set in motion to defeat the beauty, the actress, the temptress. And see, there's an apple, and inside the apple is little clockwork. So I'm wondering if either the King or Kier has found some evidence. Remember, I said the word evidence before, of Meghan plotting her moves against Harry. Maybe something that happened before they were married. There's something there that they've got on Meghan, allegedly. They might have some evidence that they can use against Meghan to help Harry. Let's see, what else are they going to be discussing? Ooh, the Angel of Time. And look how washed out, grey hair. We've got a lot of white, grey in the cards. So maybe the colour has gone out of the relationship. Maybe Meghan is showing her true colours. Maybe it's time for her to fly, time for her to leave, time for her to move on. move on from the royal family, and how can they achieve that? How can they get, if they've got evidence against Meghan and they reveal it to her or reveal it somehow, how can they get rid of her? How can they help Harry? Because that was the sense that I got, was helping Harry come home. Candy cane angel. So you can see there the sweet treats, the candy canes. There's something about her being a temptress, tempting Harry, luring him away almost. And what does this card say? Mend a broken heart. Healing from heartache. So there might be something that they've become aware of. One of them or both of them have become aware of. Maybe Harry becoming really broken-hearted. See, the colour again has gone out of this lady's hair. We know her as black-haired, and now she's just gone grey and dull. And the broken heart, I'm sure the broken heart relates to Harry. So there might be some kind of softening towards Harry, or some kind of plan to bring him back, to help him, to get him away from Meghan so that he can heal, so that he can get back to the old Harry that people used to know and love. And let's find out what kind of action is the King and Kier, are the King and Kier talking about or going to take? What kind of action? This is very much the hunting card. The sea otter swims around underneath the water and it causes the fish to jump out. So the fish are the prey. I wonder if the prey is Meghan Markle, if they're digging up more dirt on Meghan Markle. Something that they can use to help Harry escape the situation that he's in. What else? What action are they talking about? Maybe they're talking about surveillance. Look how that lady is looking. What else? What action? Whoa, there we go. That's the royal family. Absolutely very strong. They've had enough of this. They want the situation to end, and they no longer want to be associated with Meghan Markle. And the lioness here, it says protection. How can we protect Harry? How can we look after him? And I don't think this is security kind of protection. I think this is protection against the person who has alienated and separated him from his family. And with that comes separation from common sense. What other action? So this is my loyalty card. There's the person with a bow and arrow, the protector, and the loyal dog, the loyal hound, and the birds up there talking about how to set somebody free. So how can Harry, who used to be faithful, be set free? And is there any kind of Secret Service person or that kind of person, somebody who can be physically close to Harry, who can protect him and bring him home, is what I'm getting from that. What other action are they talking about? Ooh, they really are seeing Meghan as a stalker, as a predator. Maybe they've come up with some evidence or information. You know how she said, "Oh, I didn't know anything about him. Everything I learnt about him, I learnt from him." Well, that's not true, because we've got photos of her sitting outside the palace when she was 12 years old. We know that she had she written articles in the TIG about Prince William and Princess Catherine about their wedding. Clearly, she had researched Diana, because before they even met, she was wearing Diana's perfume and wearing the same kind of clothes that Diana wore. So maybe it's that. Maybe that's something. Maybe she did some background searches, or there's something about how she set him in her sights and stalked him. Maybe they found out some evidence about that. Oh, mental health. This is my batshit crazy card. So maybe they found some information either about Meghan's poor mental health or about Harry's poor mental health. I'm getting this is more about Meghan. Did she stalk somebody else? Was she behaving poorly towards somebody else? Has that evidence of that come to light? And what are they going to do? How are they going to help Harry out of this sticky situation? Beaver is somebody who works hard, who's a hard worker. Maybe they've been working diligently behind the scenes to come up with some evidence, to come up with something that will convince Harry. So I'm getting very much in these cards that they're worried about Harry and wanting to work more with Harry than cutting Harry off. Oh yeah, see, this is my card for when somebody is feeling crushed. The situation is crushing. So maybe this crazy card relates to Harry. Maybe they're very concerned about his mental health. They're really concerned about the pressure on him, and they wonder what can they do to set him free. Maybe it's set him free from Meghan. Maybe it's set him free from royal life. Because he was on that freedom flight, and didn't he say that being born a royal was a burden? So maybe they're talking about giving him what he wanted, giving him his freedom. Let's see. Again, I'm getting the feeling of entrapment. This is Little Red Riding Hood, and the trees behind her, barren wasteland, and how she tamed the wild prince. So again, maybe they've got some kind of evidence about some kind of an entrapment. What else? Oh, this is the freedom flight. So we definitely got Harry and Harry's energy here. Remember, they went on that freedom flight. They wanted to be free of the monarchy. So maybe they're talking about the removal of the titles. How can we set them free? Maybe they're talking about if Harry is no longer a prince, maybe he won't have any appeal to Meghan, and maybe that's here. As a prince, Harry was very, very colourful, but if they take away either the prince title or the dukedom or some of the other titles, he might lose his colour and his attraction, and he'll pale in comparison to her other options, and then maybe she'll find that it's no longer appealing, and she might then exit stage left, I'm getting. So maybe that's what they're talking about. Give us a couple more cards on just the energy around this. Yeah, there's Harry, there's Meghan pretending to be something she isn't with those ginger locks in her hair. I will show you who to trust. Yeah, they definitely feel like she lured them. Let's ask the cards directly. Are they discussing removing the titles? This is a brand new deck that I got called Wisdom of the House of Night. So I don't know how well they're going to read. Some decks read very well. Some decks are chatty. I'm not sure how they're going to be. Just clear the energy. So what we want to know about what Sir Kier and the King are talking about. The King and Kier, what are they talking about? And are they talking about removing the titles? The cards are a little bit stuck together. So I've never read with these before. I don't know how they're going to talk about. Ooh, the moon. Things done in secret. So we might not know for a little while what these discussions are about. But I'm certainly getting some kind of a, not collusion, but some kind of a plan. And interesting, the cat there. I'm just struck by how different it is from the royal family. Where are you, card? Let me find that one. So that card about the royal family, and there's the little kitty cat. So I'm getting a sense that they want to set Harry free. He went on that freedom flight. He didn't want to be royal anymore. So let's give Harry what he wants. And I'm getting very much the influence of the late Queen Elizabeth. So that's her influence on the world. And there's Harry, the scared little kitty cat. And he said he wanted to be free from the shackles of royal life. So maybe a way to free him is to give him what he wants. Give him title removal. Let's just confirm. Did I turn these upside down? I did. Confidence. Remember how confidently Harry ran off to Canada is initially where he ran off to. And remember that first card, freedom, fast forward movement. So he used to be very action oriented, and now he's been brought to heel by a pretty girl. And horses for me are freedom cards. So again, I'm getting, let's give him his freedom. He wanted to leave. Let's give him his freedom. And I'm just getting that the freedom is remove the royal titles. Yeah, this is the lady with a burning desire in her mind, the lady with the dark hair, burning desire to be a princess. And if we take away, I'm getting very strongly the princess title, but also it might be the dukedoms, not the prince. So I'm getting very strongly from this deck that they're definitely going to be discussing the titles. And let's find out, what is the outcome? What is the outcome of the conversation going to be? What action is going to be taken? The warrior. The warrior. So there's old Harry. He's in the dark. He's in a bit of a bad space. The way that this is drawn, he looks like bruised and battered. He's been through a lot. His eyes are all dark. So maybe they are worried about him, about his health. But doesn't this image remind you very much about the king's portrait, that blood red portrait? So I'm getting that they're talking about some way to protect him, maybe bring him back into the fold, into the family, but the way to do that might be by removing his titles. He will be less attractive to the girl with a burning desire to be the queen, I'm getting. And if they take away his titles, he'll be less attractive to her, and maybe the problem will resolve itself. I'll pull 2 more cards and then the underlying energy. What do you think? What do you think Kier and the King are talking about? And should they be talking about removing the titles? Should they be taking action on the titles? Kier and the King. Kier and the King. Kier and the King. 2 more cards and then we'll get the underlying. Please like this video if you do, and subscribe if you haven't. It really helps me out. And this to me is very much the freedom card. Set Harry free from the confines of his titles, and maybe Meghan will fly off into the distance. 1 more and then we'll get the underlying. Again, movement. So we might actually get some movement coming quickly. And this goes all the way back to that first card that I pulled, which was the Harry was risky. He behaved very quickly, very fast forward with that white horse, and there's the white horse again. So they're definitely talking about Harry. They're definitely talking about his freedom flight, and they're definitely talking about what can we do to resolve the situation. These fake royal tours have got to stop. Oh, and we were going to do the underlying hope. Yep, so there is hope. There is hope. They've been discussing the titles. There's hope that they're going to remove them because they want to set Harry free. The horse is very much a freedom card. They want to free him of his shackles and give him what he said he wanted when he took what he called the freedom flight. Remember how he said Prince William and his father were trapped? So they're going to get rid of some titles, and so that he is no longer trapped by his titles. Very interesting. Can't wait to see what happens next.